And our next presenter is Mr. Maxim from Enable. So, yeah, thank you, Maxim. Please, stage is yours, and let's see news at Enable. Thank you.
Hello? Okay, works. Great. Hello, everybody. For those who doesn't know me, I'm Maxim from company Enable. Sorry, I'm a bit late, but I was told that now I have a full time, until the dinner. So finally, I can show you all my 178 awesome slides. So we will have some time for that. Great. So Enable. I'm sure that most of you know us already, but if you still don't, shame on you, by the way. But we are pure MSP vendor. All what we do is we try to develop tools for you, so you can build your services that you can sell to your customers. I mean, we all don't. I mean, we don't have all those things like MSRP, tender protections. Protections against other resellers and so on and so on. We give you tools, and it's up to you how you build your service on top of those tools. What price you charge your customers, up to you. How you name your service, up to you. What margin do you make on our services, up to you completely. And we are on the market for quite a long time, more than 20 years. So I believe we know what we're doing a little bit. We have like 25,000 plus minus, probably plus by now, of MSPs across the world. And totally, our solution protects more than 8 million endpoints across the world. So we have expertise, we have history, we have products that we have built for quite a long time, and we are ready to give that to you, so you can be successful in what you are doing with your customers. Let's talk about security. And security, let's say, in the past. In the past, it was pretty simple, right? So if you are if you are MSP, you could sell patch management, firewall, backup, antivirus, and you're done. I mean, you protect your customers, and yeah, it's all good. You don't need to think further. I'm not going to ask you if it's enough or not right now. I'm pretty sure that after presentations from my colleagues, all of you kind of understand that it's not enough anymore. But the thing is, there are still MSPs and partners across the world who still on that paradigm and who still sell to their customers just patch management, backup, antivirus, and firewall, and they still believe it's okay. So it creates an opportunity for all of you to be those who take a market share from them. And what we see is that those MSPs who take advantage of, let's say, new approach, right now are quite successful. They usually make about 30% year-over-year growth. They have about 60% margin, and have zero problems with their infrastructure. How to achieve that? Well, I mean, it's a very long discussion, and it includes many different aspects. You need to think about automation of your work, because obviously you want to make sure that your engineers spend time only on important things, while all other day-by-day things are automated. You need to consolidate and standardize your vendors, your products, because instead of having, let's say, 5 different antiviruses or something, you want to have just one product that your engineers know very well. And if somebody new engineer comes to your company, you can teach him to that product pretty quickly, and you can support that product pretty easily. So standardization is one of those things. You probably want to even to pick your customers, because sometimes there are customers who just shopping around and trying to find cheaper solution, and it's quite hard to explain them that things are changing, and they just cannot survive by paying you like a little bit and expect that they are going to be protected. If you provide a good service, you want to charge the good money for that. So most probably you need to pick customers that are ready to pay for your services. But that's very, very long discussion. I mean, I'm happy to take it offline or cover it next time. But right now, I just want to talk about some product aspects of what those guys usually do. Those MSPs that earn 60% margin and grow 30% year over year. Usually, we talk about layered security approach. The core element of any customer's business is their data, right? I mean, that's what we all try to protect. That's all like bad guys tries to get access to. And protection usually consists of many layers, let's say many surfaces. There are devices that can be hacked, obviously, or can be stolen, or can be lost. There are applications that have vulnerabilities that can be, again, hacked and so on. There are people, the most unpredictable element usually, because you never know what people are going to do in the company. There is network, and there is obviously internet. And usually threats that comes into the system touch most of those layers, or at least some of them. So to protect the data, you want to have protection on each of those layers, right? And definitely the old approach of just firewall, backup, antivirus, and patch management doesn't cover all of that. That's how, for example, quite common and quite popular ransomware attack looks like. It comes from, I mean, it starts from the email. It comes to one of your employees or customers' employees. He clicks the email. There is some link script that user clicks. Yes, it calls some PowerShell script, which goes to payload server and download the malware. Then malware downloads the trickbot, which sits then on your device. Then it spreads across the network. The malware still sits in your device. Then it goes to download. Then it downloads the ransomware itself, and then it encrypts your devices. So you see that attacks touch all layers. So if you want to catch it, you probably want to have a protection on all of those layers. And it's quite easy to miss it if you don't have protection in any of them. That's why, again, old approach doesn't work. And we suggest to slightly change it. So the core, I mean, let's say a minimum that you want to have, obviously. You want to have, in addition to patch, firewall, and backup, you probably want to update your antivirus, your favorite antivirus, to EDR. Because we all know that antiviruses are great, they're cheap, but they can't catch many either zero-day threats or just modern malware threats. They just cannot, because threats are fileless, and there is no signature that antivirus could catch. Probably you want to introduce some mail protection. You want to introduce some DNS filtering, or at least web protection, at least something. For people, you want to have password management, because password is a very weak spot in any ecosystem. And if you're MSP, especially, statistics shows that if your employee, I mean, if you are MSP and your employee leaves the company, in majority of cases, this guy keeps the access to the passwords of the end customers. And in 30% of cases, this guy use the access to that infrastructure. So you do want to make sure that you manage your passwords and customers' passwords. You want to make sure that you implement rollback, which is usually provided by any good EDR solution. You want to make sure that your backups are safe and they are recoverable, obviously. So you want to do recovery testing from time to time on a regular basis, actually. And then you can add your services on top. You can do user trainings, and you can do pen testings, something more. That's how you create more full protection for your customers. That's how you can earn more. And that's what gives you kind of a full set of features that protects customers from, let's say, modern and evolving threats. More and more. So, what we do have to offer. A core of our offer usually is RMM systems, remote monitoring and management systems. Because whatever service you offer, you want to monitor it. If you sell, let's say, backup, patch management, antivirus, EDR, you want to monitor this service, if it's running or not, if it was updated or not, and so on and so on. That's what Insight and N-Central are for. It also gives you automation. So majority of tasks that you guys are doing every day can be automated. Trust me. And we can teach you, we can help you with that automation. So by our estimates, one engineer with proper level of automation can support up to, let's say, 2,000 devices. One engineer. That's what we can do with our remote monitoring and management systems. We have EDR. We partner with SentinelOne, so their EDR is quite good. I'm going to talk about that in the future. But yeah, we have EDR. Not many people know about that, but we have backup, and backup is really, really good, by the way. Again, I'm going to cover it a bit later. We have DNS filtering. There are some news about that product. I'm going to cover it again in a few minutes. We have Mail Assure. That's a tool to protect your email flow. It just filters out emails that coming in, coming out. Obviously, there is anti-spam antivirus. It also serves as an archiving tool and as a continuity tool. So if your major mail server is down, it still keeps delivering your emails. Pretty simple, but pretty efficient tool. And we have Passportal. Passportal is an awesome tool. I like it, actually, myself, because it was developed by one of MSPs for their own internal use. And the product was pretty good, and they decided to try to sell it. So they started to sell it, and it went well. More and more MSPs started to get on board. And our company noticed them and just bought them as a company. So now it's our tool, and we offer password management tool by ourselves. So as you can see, we offer a full set, a full portfolio that can give you to build that bare minimum protection for your customers, so you can tell customers that they are safe, that they are protected from modern evolving threats. So, bit more details about some products and some news about those products. First of all, DNS filtering. Yes. So DNS filter. I mean, you probably know what is a web filter, right? Web filter. 5 minutes. Oh my God. Web filter is usually a simple tool. It's just a library of the websites, and every time you go to some websites, this engine tells you, well, this site belongs to, let's say, gambling or I know technology or something else, and then you can create rules according to these categories. But the thing is, new malicious sites pop up quite quickly. We estimate the rate at about 30,000 new malicious websites a day. So those, let's say, agents just cannot keep up with those with that rate. And even those websites that were quite good and quite normal yesterday could be malicious today because of the scripts in, let's say, in WordPress, or just some intrusion to the website. You never know. So what we use artificial intelligence and machine learning technology. So every time you go to a website, the engine checks if the website is okay or not. So it gives you additional protection against zero-day threats. As many people mentioned today, zero-day threats are quite important. So we give you protection against them. So far, this tool was available only as a module in Central in our system. From next month, we are going to sell it as a standalone tool. So even now, we can set you a trial. So if any of you are interested, we can give you a trial today so you can test the product in real life. EDR. Well, I'm not going to talk about why EDR is better than antivirus. I'm pretty sure you know by now. Just to tell you that we partner with SentinelOne, and let's say by Mitre. Mitre is an organization that tests such solutions. SentinelOne EDR is the best solution right now on the market across all EDR solutions. And we can sell it, or let's say, with better MSP model than they do themselves. We have 3 versions: Control, Complete, and Vigilance. Control is basic EDR. That's what you probably will ask for when you ask for EDR. Complete version is EDR control plus deep visibility. The difference is normal EDR uploads to the dashboard information about malicious activity only. Complete version uploads to the dashboard information about suspicious activities as well. And it gives you some historical retrospective about activities that some processes do. So every time you see you have some suspicious on some process, you can see how it spreads across your network, what's the history of this process. So it gives you a tool to analyze what exactly is going on in your system. Vigilance. Vigilance is managed EDR. In this case, we connect you to SentinelOne people, and they monitor your dashboard. And every time something happens in your dashboard, those guys from SentinelOne gonna check it, gonna take actions against any threats that they can identify. And you will just get a report that it was a threat, it was deactivated, was cleaned up, all fine. They will contact you only in a case if something physical needs to be done, like you need to go there and plug off the computer. Otherwise, everything gonna be done by themselves. And we have promotion. I mean, the whole reason I'm talking about EDR, we have promotion right now that if you don't use our EDR by now, you can get it for just €1 per device per month for 6 months. After that, let's say agreed price going to be applied. But for the first 6 months, just €1 per device per month, which is quite good, I would say, for EDR. Limitation is if you have our antivirus, you are supposed to kind of replace antivirus with EDR. So if you have, let's say, 100 antiviruses, you would need to replace it with 100 EDRs. But otherwise, it's a good offer. Feel free to, let me know if you're interested. Backup. I'm not gonna stop here for too long because we don't have much time. But just to say, to tell you, backup is really, really good. Just 2 minutes. The main advantage, we managed to transfer to cloud much less data than majority of vendors do, which means that you can do backup, let's say, snapshots or station points much more often. And instead of doing backup of your database, let's say once a day, you can do it every hour. So it can give you opportunity to increase the level of service that you can offer. We also offer cloud first backup. So we don't do all these in your closet server backups. We back it up straight to the cloud. So we eliminate a vulnerability point, because the backup in your closet, it's always a vulnerability point, because every time malware goes to the system, first thing it does, it goes after your shadow copies, and it goes after your backups. So cloud backup is actually much more reliable and much more safe than on-premise backup. It's also quite simple. What we noticed that instead of, let's say, 4 people that need to manage normal classical image-based backup, we require just half time of junior engineer to manage our backup. So our backup is quite simple, and yeah, it saves your time and efforts. And another promotion: if you guys use some other backup and you consider, let's say, to take our backup as well, we can, let's say, buy you out. So until the end of your agreement with other vendor, we can give you a price of €1 per month for the whole installation. So if you have, let's say, 100 servers, you will still pay to us just €1 per month for all 100 servers until the end of your contract with other vendor. After that, agreed price will be applied. Mind you, this is applicable only to new customers to us. So yeah, there is limitation. And the last promo, yeah, 1 second. Last promo. Patch measurement is important. Monitoring is important. So now we give you opportunity to get N-Central with much more, how it's called, attractive conditions, because promotion gives you ability to get security for free, basically. How it works: if you buy N-Central for, let's say, €500 a month, we give you €1,000 a month of security credits, which you can spend on, let's say, backup, EDR, passport, or whatever. But you have twice more of value of your general purchase that you can spend on security products. That's also for new customers only. So if you guys are still not with us, it's the right time to jump in and get that great offer. And yes, I'm almost in time. Thank you. Yes. Yes. That depends on where exactly you buy it directly, because most probably you will buy it from PAX 8 or somebody else. PAX 8, it's similar to us. If you go to Sentinel-1 directly, if you're big enough, which is kind of tricky, then it's not. They have some XDR, some other things. But PAX 8 offers the same things that we do.
More questions? That was great.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Maxim.